This is a very interesting workshop at how to create apps on the Tizen platform, something which is very new even for me as well. And to set the context and to lead you through the entire gamut of things, very exciting things that are in store, I would like to invite Nishant to take the stage.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate this. Maybe, yeah, I can come this side. It's comfortable. Okay, my name is Nishant. Let me introduce you to the speakers over here first, and then we can start the discussion. We have Anvesh over here. Anvesh, could you? Sorry, Anvesh is a web developer. So he would discuss that how to develop a web-based app using Tizen. What is Tizen, we'll discuss in a while. And we have Madhavi also. Madhavi would give you an overall idea about the architecture and overall structure of Tizen framework as such. Then we have Shrideep. Shrideep is a graphics expert into gaming. So I guess most of you guys would be interested in gaming. He would explain that how to port your game application, which is Unity based, onto Tizen platform, and how easy it is. Okay, that's the context. So today's session was supposed to be a hands-on session. There were some prerequisites that you should get a laptop with Tizen SDK on it, but many of you don't have laptops. So that's okay. Just sit back, and then we will take you about the journey of Tizen. What exactly is Tizen? What are the building blocks? What is the philosophy behind Tizen? And how many of you are application developers, mobile application developers? How many of you already have an app somewhere? iOS, Android, Windows. How many of you are gamers? So there is a difference. Okay, great. Most of you. And this is the key takeaway once you have come out of this session, that if you have an existing game, or I would say gaming application, how can you port it on Tizen? That's first thing. Second thing is why would you like to do it? Means what is in it for you in terms of monetization, or how you can basically become famous again in Tizen world. We'll discuss briefly about it. This team is Tizen R&D team. We work on Tizen core framework, and we are based in Bangalore, Samsung Research Bangalore. During the session, please feel free to discuss or ask any questions. We'll try and address it as much as possible. And there are a few, I wouldn't say few, there are a couple of big announcements which are planned for tomorrow related to Tizen's games, moving your games onto Tizen. So please look for Tizen space or tweet on the Twitter handle that for these announcements, which would benefit you as a game developer. So I hope that you would be attending this session or conference tomorrow also. Okay. So let's start the discussion. So how many of you know what is Tizen? What is Tizen? Okay. It is an OS. It's a platform which uses Linux as our kernel. So mobile platform or OS, your word gets used interchangeably. What exactly is an OS? For a developer like me, OS, I would say it's a Linux, because that's we use the kernel. So Tizen is a combination of Linux kernel, open source components, on top of which you can develop application for various things. Okay, so it's a mobile, high quality mobile platform meant for many things, and it's an open source project. It is maintained under Linux Foundation. It uses many high quality and very popular open source components. You could see over here. So as it is, the nature itself is open source, you don't really have to worry about the royalty or patent infringements, because it's Linux Foundation takes care of it. And as long as you follow the licensing rules of the open source, you can pretty much use any component or change it. Apart from that, Tizen we call it as a platform or OS of everything. So on top of Tizen, you can actually build applications for mobile phones, wearables. Then there are different profiles. Tizen is a mobile platform Many people call it as mobile operating system also. You could say it's similar to Android, but with a difference. Okay, Tizen is a platform, but which is based on Linux. So we use Linux kernel, and we have a framework on top of it. So it's an open source platform. So all the components of Tizen are open source. It's a high quality open source platform. So as the nature itself is it's open source, so you don't have to really worry about whether you are using any proprietary software or whether you have to pay any royalty fees while using Tizen platform. So we take care of it as far as licensing is concerned. It is maintained under Linux Foundation. I assume that you guys have some understanding of Linux, or maybe you would be using Linux in your college. So you know what is Linux Foundation, right? So all the open source components or projects are under Linux Foundation, and we use a lot of open source components from Linux Foundation. Now it is developed to customize your application for various devices. So be it mobile or be it wearable. So this is one of the Tizen product, what I'm using, Gear S2. Or be it TVs. If you guys are coming tomorrow, we have a Samsung booth in the hall where we will be displaying Tizen TV, a bigger TV. So a wearable or a mobile phone or a Tizen TV or any of the IoT device which will be coming very in near future, all uses Tizen operating system. So you could see that from a resource constrained device like IoT device or IoT hub to a feature-rich device like TV or mobile phone which has a better processing power, better memory. It's a single operating system, Tizen. Oops, it's on. So this is a common platform on top of which we have various different profiles. So today mostly we'll be talking about mobile, but then we have a single operating system. When you say Tizen, Tizen for wearable, Tizen for TV, or Tizen for mobile is single OS. Unlike other competitors, which you have watch OS, then OS for your laptops, OS for your mobile phones, and then there is a fragmentation. So we are trying to avoid that scenario here in the first place. We also use a lot of open source components. So all the components we use are well tested and very popular among developer communities. So be it Wayland, OpenGL, EFL, all the standard and very popular open source components. And you as a developer, if you want to contribute for these things, you can go ahead and contribute and basically enhance Tizen platform. So how many of you already are aware that this operating system is there in the market as well as in the products? Okay, fair bit of number. We have launched mobile phones, especially in India, since 1.5 years ago, right? 1.5 years ago, we launched our first mobile phone, Z1, Samsung Z1. Then we launched Z2, which was on the higher end side. And in August, we launched Z2. So all these phones, right now, especially Z2 is selling quite well. It's very popular for that segment. We are selling it for 5,000 rupees odd. But then if you compare the same price range with, say, Android phone or any other Chinese vendors, the performance, battery life is exceptional. You will actually able to see it once you get the phone at the end of this presentation. Try and use it, and then make basically your own judgment of how good or bad the phone is. Okay. Then this was the first product on which Tizen platform was launched. Now the beauty of this platform is when we were told to develop this product, we started from the scratch. Means we work in software. Hardware team is different. So hardware team gave us the hardware and the spec, but then we had to come up with the circular UI. Most of the earlier products were squarish or rectangular. So all the changes of circular UI, all the sensor related changes and application, the whole development was done in 3 months only. So that basically tells you that if you want to do a rapid application development or a product development, Tizen is quite suitable, or Tizen would be best suited for this kind of activities. All the Samsung's high-end TVs smart TVs run on Tizen operating system.